that the lighting is probably absolutely god awful right now, but I don't know. I'm in a bit of a manic mood. Everything is kind of aligned tonight for me to be able to just get on with some stuff that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I really have wanted to do a kitchen deep clean for a while, just because I haven't, and I need to do a bit more organising. I need to refill some things, and I just felt like, you know, it's 6:10 on Sunday night. Ed's not feeling very well, so he's in bed. The kids went down without a fuss at all, so I'm expecting in a couple of hours, when I want to go to bed, that they will probably kick up then. So I feel like I need to not, because if I sit down and chill now, I will feel I won't get the motivation back to be able to start again later on. So I think for now I'm gonna just go with it and we'll see what happens. Yeah. I've already kind of over the last couple of hours prepared. I've done a few things. So I've got a wash that's in the dryer that's being like having a rough dry, it's in the dryer. I want to take everything off of the top shelf, clean it, pull it down. I want to also organise a couple of bits up there. I think I want to put my cake stand on the other side and bring some books in from the cabinet in the other room, and put my serving plates that are up there in the cupboard, because I think, because I don't use them, there's no point in them being there, but I do want more inspiration from my cookbooks. And when I do use my cookbooks, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel much better. I like having my cookbooks out, because if inspiration strikes, then it is there waiting for me and I don't have to do anything for it. So I need to clear out, I need to refill some bits in the cupboards, and I just thought, why not film it, and we'll see if this ever gets posted. So come along for the ride, guys, and enjoy, I hope. Okay, so ignore the fact that you can now hear the dishwasher going, but what I have done is I cleared down the top shelf and kind of reorganised, filled up what I can. I've added to the list stuff that isn't full. However, there are stuff that isn't full that we actually don't use. For example, I don't use quinoa very often and I don't use red lentils very often. So I'm not going to spend the money to fill that up when I know that a whole pack of lentils is not going to fill that jar. So I'm going to be left with a tiny leftover packet that's going to have to sit in a cupboard somewhere, which I just don't have the space for. So what I'm going to do is find a way to incorporate however much lentils I've got. I think I can make a dal for the kids actually, which would be a good way of using that up. And then fill it up with brown lentils that I have in a pack that's taking up space in my cupboard at the moment. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do. I've actually got green lentils and brown lentils, so I think I'm gonna try and find a way to use the quinoa, try and find a way to use the red lentils, and so I've got 2 free jars. I realised that although I really like the look of having flour, like self-raising flour and plain flour in jars, it's not practical because, again, for the same reason of the red lentils, like a whole pack doesn't fit in the jar, even though it's deceptionally big. Flour is packed so tightly, and as soon as you open it, it just expands and adds air into it, so you can't pack it down as tightly in a jar like that, in a Kilner jar. So I've decided to keep that after I've used it up, to keep the packets of flour in the cupboard until I can find a nice tin that the open pack of flour just fits in, and then I can have a nice like tin on the top rather than a glass jar, which I'm happy with. This is the mentality I've kind of had to get myself into over like the last couple of years of having a kitchen and finding places to put things. And yeah, it just becomes more and more of a issue, because I end up buying stuff and realising I can't find anywhere to put it, and the top of the fridge / oven area is now full of baby stuff, because we have to have stock of that, because if we run out, or it just, like, there have been times where it's been 3 or 4 days and you realise, oh my god, I'm on the dregs of this pot of formula and I really need to buy another packet, but I just haven't been able to get out. So because of that, I have at least 3 boxes above the fridge, and we buy that every week and a half. The other shelves, they're kind of the shelves that, you know, you can't see when you look directly at the kitchen, so it doesn't feel like that needs to be as tidy, but I do like it to look nice and obviously be clean, because that's where our glasses go. And then we've got syrups and like coffee syrups, which I use every day, so I like to have a couple of options. I think having 1 or 2 is a good idea, but having 4 is just not necessary. We really didn't need to, it was just because it was on offer. So it's one of those things again where it's like, okay, I need to keep reminding myself that I don't need these things, they just take up space. Like, I could have done without it, I didn't need to spend the money, but just because it's on offer doesn't mean it actually has any value to me. It is now 10:10. It's been a crazy evening. Poor Ed is not very well, so I've kind of spent the last hour and a half just kind of figuring out what I can do for him, but I wanted to finish up this video and conclude what I have done to kind of explain. So some of it I filmed, some of it I didn't, but one thing that really needed to be done is the kettle to be descaled. I kind of try and do this every couple of months when I realise that my tea is starting to get like flakes on the top, which was happening today, so I decided to do that. Then I realised underneath the oven, the cupboard under the oven, everything was falling out as I was putting things away. So removed the slow cooker and put the toaster back, because we don't have the toast out all the time, and the reason for that is because I love bread, and when we have it, it just goes. So I've put the toaster away so that it doesn't remind me we have bread, or it also doesn't remind me to buy bread when I'm doing the Tesco shop, which was another thing I ended up doing tonight. I want to do a whole other video on the Tesco shop / our weekly shop. How much we spend, what we get, how we try and keep it down. We have a monthly budget of £50 a week, so £200 a month. Sometimes it goes over, obviously. I say obviously. The kids' food and formula and stuff is a separate budget. I mean, before the kind of all the costs went up and everything, we were actually living off £30 a month, £30 a week for our weekly shop, which was amazing. But then, you know, everything went up, and also the minimum spend for free delivery for Tesco went up to 50 quid, and the slots are just ridiculous. And we have a delivery saver pass, so you pay £4 a month and you get over £50 free delivery after 3 p.m. So we do that, which is really good. The next thing I ended up doing was the clothes. So I think I mentioned earlier, or I may have cut it out, was I put everything in the dryer for like 20 minutes and then I hang it on the airer overnight and put the dehumidifier on, and it just dries everything out. So it consumes less power. It massively reduces the risk of my clothes being shrunk and all of that. And then the last thing I did tonight was to fold and put away all the kids' laundry. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see where our where the new organised kitchen, kind of how long I can keep it up for. Anyway, The other thing that needed topping up was the kids' Gaviscon pot. So they have quite bad reflux and have been on Gaviscon since they were about 6 weeks old now. And it just works. We've tried it a couple times, especially now we've established weaning, to see if we don't need it anymore, but we do. So yeah, just topped up the Gaviscon pot, put the jug next to the water filter, the bottle machine thing, finished descaling the kettle, all of that jazz. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it was useful / motivating to someone out there who's currently losing motivation to do housework, because that's me. For some reason, when I film it, it makes me more motivated to do it. So anyway, if anyone has any suggestions of how I can do it better or streamline it, please let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.